Hi! Welcome to Chingster's video on percents, decimals, and fractions. In this video, you will learn how to convert between percents, decimals, and fractions. So let's get started. First, let us write down the key idea. To write percents as decimals, we need to understand that percents means 4 or out of every 100. Percent is a number or ratio expressed as a fraction of 100. We will now look at the steps. Step 1. Remove the percent symbol. So rewrite 35% as 35. And then step 2. Divide by 100 or just move the decimal point 2 places to the left. So after you remove the percent symbol, move the decimal point from 35 at the end of 5, after 5 to 2 decimals to the left. So you end up with 0.35. Therefore, 35% can be written as 0.35 as a decimal. Let's look at example 1. You may want to pause the video first and try to answer the different parts on your own before comparing your answers with mine. For part A, we have 66%. So you want to first remove the percentage symbol and you end up with 66. And you want to move the decimal point 2 places to the left. So the answer is 0.66. Okay. And for 1B, you want to first remove the percentage symbol. You end up with 300. And you want to, step 2, you want to move the decimal point 2 places to the left because we are dividing by 100. So you end up with 3 as your answer. For part C, 2.6%, you will first remove the percentage symbol and you will have to move the decimal point 2 places to the left, and that will give you 0 between the decimal point and 2, and your answer will be 0. I'm going to darken the decimal point, 0.26. For part D, again, we will first remove the percent symbol and move the decimal point 2 places to the left, and then you end up with 0.003. Now let's look at the key idea of writing decimals as percents. Let's apply the steps to the example 0.47. First, you will have to multiply 0.47 by 100. And you know that when you multiply the number by 100, you're moving the decimal 2 places to the right to make it 47, and after that you will add the percent symbol as stated in step 2, and that's the answer. So 0.47 can be written as 47%. Let's look at some practice questions. In number 2, write the following decimals as percents. So 2A, we have 0.29. So you will first have to multiply 0.29 by 100. When you multiply the number by 100, you are actually moving the decimal point 2 places to the right. So you get 29, and step 2, you will have to add the percent symbol. That's our answer. 0.29 is 29%. For part B, 0.775, first we will multiply this number by 100. That is to move the decimal point 2 places to the right. And then we get 77.5. And you have to do step 2, add a percent symbol. So 0.775 is equal to 77.5%. In part C, 2.5, We will multiply it by 100, so you will move the decimal point 2 places to the right, and that is 250, and you add the percent symbol. So 2.5 is equal to 250%. For part D, we have 0.0075. Step 1, multiply the number by 100, so you move the decimal point 2 places to the right, so you end up with 0.75, and you will add the percent symbol. So 0.0075 is equal to 0.75%. Now we will take a look at example 3. On a science test, you get 85 out of a possible 100 points. Write your score as a percent, a fraction, and a decimal. You may want to pause the video to think about the question before checking your answer with mine. To write 85 out of 100 as a percent, we know that it is 85% because it's 85 out of 100. And for fraction, that is also written as 85 divided by 100 or over 100. And don't forget to simplify the fraction if you can. So we know that 85 and 100 are both divisible by 5. So I'm going to divide both the numerator and denominator by 5. And I know that 85 divided by 5 is equal to 17, and 100 divided by 5 is equal to 20. So that is 17 out of 20. And as a decimal, we know that we can just look at 85 divided by 100. So it will be 85, and we will have to move the decimal point 2 places to the left, and that will give you 0.85 or 0.85. Let's look at our next example. The portion of ultraviolet UV rays reflected by water and grass are 21/25 and 3% respectively. How many times more UV rays are reflected by water than by grass? To solve this problem, we will first write 21/25 and 3% as decimals. So 21/25, to write it as decimals, we can express the denominator as 100. So I will have to multiply 25 by 4 to make it 100. And this is an equivalent fraction, so we need to multiply the denominator by 4 also. So you end up with 84/100, and that gives us 0.84. And 3% is the same as dividing 3 by 100 to give us 0.03 as the decimal. The question asks how many times more UV rays are reflected by water than by grass. So we have to think about which operation this will be, and in this case, how many times more. It will be a division problem. So you have to take the amount of UV rays reflected by water divided by grass. So 0.84, when you divide it by 0.03, we will first have to convert the denominator into a whole number. So to make 0.03 into a whole number, we will multiply it by 100. And you have to do the same to the denominator. So you end up with 84 divided by 3. We will divide 84 by 3 using long division. So how many times does 3 go into 8? There will be 2. 2 times 3 is equal to 6. And the remainder is 2. And you bring down the 4. So 24 divided by 3 is 8. So you end up with 28 times more as your answer. In our next section, we will learn about comparing fractions, decimals, and percents. When comparing and ordering fractions, decimals, and percents, write the numbers as all fractions, all decimals, or all percents. Let's look at some examples. Example 5. Which is greater, 11 over 20 or 53%? To compare these two numbers, we will express both as fractions or both as percents. Take a moment to think about which form of the numbers would be easier for comparison in this example. I would choose to express 11 over 20 as a percent. So 11 over 20, to write it as a percent, we need to express it out of 100. To express the denominator out of 100, I will need to multiply 20 by 5 and 11 by 5. So I'm getting 55 out of 100. And from there, this is equals to 55%. And we know that 55% is greater than 53%. So therefore, 55% is the greater number. We will have to decide how we want to express the three numbers as fractions, decimals, or percents. In this case, I would express all the three numbers as decimals. Since 0.67 is already a decimal, we will write 68% and 11 over 15 as decimals. To write 68% as decimals is the same as dividing it by 100. So you will need to move the decimal point 2 places to the left. So that gives us 0.68. For 11 over 15, we can't express the denominator as 100 because 15 is not a factor of 100. We will have to apply long division to get the decimal form of this number. We know that 15 doesn't go into 11, so we need to borrow another decimal place. So 110 divided by 15, that would be 7. And 7 times 15 will be 70 plus 35, that will be 105. And if you subtract this, you end up with 50, borrow another 0. And 50 divided by 15, you get 3. And 3 times 15 is 45. You get another remainder of 5. So it is 0.73 repeating. I can round it to 0.73. We will now go to step 2, which is to graph the decimals on a number line. First, draw a horizontal line and make even markings on the horizontal line for our number line. So I'm going to start with 0.67, 0.68, 0.69, 0.7, 0.71, 0.72, and 0.73. And I want to erase this extra marking here. Okay, so from here, you can plot in our numbers. So this is the number for, this is for U, and then this is, the next one is for, next number is for sister, and then you have something a little bit further, a number a little bit further, 0.73. This is for friend. And from here you can see that you made the fewest short, so the answer will be U. We have come to the end of my video. I hope that you find it helpful. Don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you real soon.